Hey there, I'm Ina, Speak Simply Malekish, and I enjoy sharing with you about sex, relationship, intimacy, and spirituality one bite at a time. And I'm excited to be sharing with you today why sex gets better as we get older. There is a myth, and I think too many people have bought into it, that as we get older, we're not as interested in sex. Wrong. We are not as skilled. We're not supposed to enjoy sex, especially after menopause for women and after men go through andropause and things change, and after all, you're getting old. Well, I hate to break that news to you. It's not true. That is the biggest falsehood I have ever been perpetrated upon our society. And if you took the time to actually ask people who were not ashamed that they were still sexual, and if you weren't embarrassed, because the idea of people as we get older and our bodies change and we're not hard bodies anymore, and especially those people who let themselves become overweight, which is very easy after menopause. In other words, if we haven't taken care of ourselves, one would think, well, we wouldn't be sexual. That's not true. So the older we get, the whole purpose of gaining age is to gain wisdom. And wisdom can start, at any age. We don't have to wait till we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s before we gain wisdom. The idea is life is like going to a school. And there's that kindergarten, the elementary, junior high, high school, college, university. There's the school of hard knocks. There's a school of life. And the whole purpose is that we're here to learn and grow. And it doesn't make any sense that we're supposed to learn and grow and evolve in all aspects of our life, except for the one that rejuvenates us at a cellular level, except for the one that brings us such happiness and joy, if we have healed ourselves from any molestation or rapes or sexual violence. So I understand that is huge across the world. So I'm talking about that, yes, we can heal ourselves from it. I have healed myself from it. And that we actually can have a wonderful sex life. And the older we get, I am so much better at not caring. I am so much better at saying no when I actually don't want to do something. Or if I'm not sure, of saying, let me think about that. Let me sleep on that and I'll get back to you. And then I get back to them. And I either say, yes, I'd be delighted to help with this project, or no, it doesn't work in my schedule for me to do this, or no, I'm not interested. The older we get, we seem to have more self-confidence, self-worth, self-esteem. We have more prowess, willingness to speak the unspeakable, not in a mean way, but in a strong way, if need be, gentle strength. So why is it that if everything is supposed to mature and evolve and gain wisdom, that sex and sexuality is like off in this corner that has been put a dunce cap on and sitting in a corner, and we're not supposed to look at that as we age? The fact of the matter is, I have a lot of clients who are in their 50s and 60s, and I'm still talking about 70s and 80s when I talk about aging and sex. But they've come to me because either they've been in a monogamous relationship and they are so curious, they want to explore an alternative lifestyle. How to do that without opening up Pandora's box and ruining their marriage. So they come to me about communication and agreements and what worked, what didn't work. As we get older, it seems like we have more inner strength to continue to explore life. And if you've never developed that inner strength, you still can. It's not too late. That as we mature, sex can be amazing. And we have to be willing to challenge how we were raised by the religions we were brought up in, what our parents' values were, what our cultural values were, because all of that are threads in the blanket of who we are. And I started pulling those threads out because they didn't make any sense to me. And I started weaving in values that made sense, from prayer, from meditation, from vision questing, to weave my own blanket of individuality. So if you're at a point where you're really wanting to explore, then I would invite you to make agreements and to explore. Now, I'm talking about maybe exploring oral sex. Some men and women have never experienced it. They think it's dirty. It comes from their religion or their parents. Maybe they've never experienced going up to, I'll give them a plug, Shangri-La here in Phoenix area and across the United States. There's different nudist resorts where you can go, and it's not sexual. If you want sex, you go behind closed doors just like you would any other place. But to actually be nude and to feel the sun and the wind on your body, that's why children love to take their clothes off and they love to go running, and they're so free. It would be so delightful that before you die, that you actually experience some of the things that you've been closed off to for whatever reason, because you have been given free will. Therefore, you have the ability to think, and you have the ability to challenge the values that have been given to you, to decide what is in alignment directly from Great Spirit, not through what somebody else told you, but you asking and praying directly. So the aging process is, things do change. Of course they do. Of course they do. So some of the things that causes problems is as women do go through menopause and the vaginal walls do get drier. And if a woman is not actively participating sexually, then just like that garden I talked about a couple weeks ago, is that if that garden is not tilled, like Grandmother Earth, the soil dries up. So there needs to be attention given to our bodies. And men, if you're not getting attention, if that beautiful log of yours has been working all these years and supplying all this fire, doesn't get attention, there is a lack of tumescence. There is like a shriveling. And you're wondering, well, I used to be an inch longer. I used to be bigger. I used to get harder. That's true. So there are things we can do. One is that, do you exercise? Whatever that is, do you exercise? Are you eating properly? Are you overeating? Are you eating foods that are really high in simple carbohydrates? Are you carrying an extra 20, 30 pounds? Men, if you put weight on in your belly, that belly takes your testosterone and turns it into estrogen, which is why you'll get man boobs. If you're wondering why you've got man boobs, it's because you've got too much estrogen in your body. And it's your own body is converting it because of the fat in your belly. So men, yes, you have estrogen. We women have testosterone. And as we mature, the stress that our culture demands us, especially now with everything that's been going on politically, the stress of raising a family, both people having to work, that absolutely destroys our natural hormones. So you may want to get a hormonal check and to see if you're balanced or not. If your T level, your testosterone is really low, men and women. Men, depending upon if you eat a lot of soy products, and if you've got a belly, your estrogen may be really high as a woman's. So when we mature, yes, there's things we need to deal with. I had L4 and 5 fused and a cage built around them. I don't know, 6 months ago or longer. I'm still dealing with stress there. It has never stopped me from making love. So as you mature, you might find that what you used to do, you have to maybe change positions. You can't be on the floor anymore. You need to be on that firm bed. And it may be that you need to develop your skills kissing. Kissing is so intimate. It's so passionate. You can express so much hunger through your kiss. You can give to the other person through a kiss. The whole body can feel like it's being ignited just from making out. Oral sex is wonderful. No, brothers, you may not get that erection the way you remember it when you were 19 years old, and it still feels so good. Ladies, if you've never allowed your partner to pleasure you orally, it's simple. Take a shower. You should be clean anyway. Spray a little foo-foo on yourself if you want to. The idea that we are sacred human beings, and every part of our body is an expression of who we are. And the older we get, the more we enjoy, because now we have time. Maybe we're retired, and so we may not have the frequency that the high levels of testosterone give us when we're younger. We may not have the frequency, but we have the quality. And we tend to spend more time creating a beautiful environment for us to share with each other. And we tend to be more concerned about our partners rather than ourselves. So you're concerned that your partner is pleased. You're concerned that their whole body is relaxed. You're concerned that they are having pleasure. If it leads to an ejaculation for you men, it may not, but it may lead to an orgasm. So for you men, if you don't know this, you can have orgasms without ejaculations, and oftentimes they even feel better than an ejaculation, especially if you ejaculate without an orgasm. That leaves you feeling empty. Even if you have a little orgasm with the ejaculation, that feels good. But to have a full orgasm through a relaxation, and a client just shared this with me, with his partner, that he had never experienced this. He was so relaxed. He was being given oral sex, so relaxed that his whole body started writhing in an ecstatic, orgasmic state. Some of you have experienced this. You know what I'm talking about. Probably most of you haven't. You could attend the Shulakwe Kwadoshka workshops when we get them back face to face. We're not doing them right now until everything's clear. You can experience this, and these are things that I can teach you, just like I'm sharing with you now. Ladies, you also can have full body energy orgasms that do not involve your clitoris or do not involve a clitoral orgasm. All of this can take place when you're younger, but the tendency when we're younger is our hormones are so strong, the erection is so there, the desire to be intimate in that very physical way is demanding. So as you age and as you get older and that demand is not so strong, you can now open yourself up to the beauty of sacred sexuality, of intimacy, of how to truly pleasure your partner, not be so concerned about yourself. And the older we get, the better this is, because when we do have an orgasm, it heals us at a cellular level. Orgasms prevent you from getting sick. Even when I was recovering from surgery, I still made sure that I engaged and I had orgasms, even if it was my partner being more active with me than what I could be with him. When there's a will, there's a way. So I would invite you, no matter your age, always incorporate intimacy into your lovemaking. Incorporate lovemaking. Your heart has to be open to do that, meaning you have to have good communication. If you're upset with each other, you're not going to want to make love, and you don't want to have an anger fuck or a makeup fuck. Excuse me if my language offends you, but you all know what I'm talking about. Aging is a very beautiful process of giving ourselves more time to be with someone we care about, to take our time with making love before, during, and laying in each other's arms afterwards, perhaps falling asleep together, getting up, making a meal together. So don't buy into this myth that the older you get, after menopause, after andropause, it all goes away. If you're having problems with dryness, ladies, men, if you're having problems with erection, see about bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, and I can help you with that if you'd like to contact me. And I do in office as well as remote. And where you're seeing this video is my contact information. And I have a lot of other videos, other platforms, and you can look at my websites. I really appreciate you listening. Can you please share this? Like it, subscribe. That helps me so I can help more of you. Have a wonderful day today, and blessings.